Hey everybody, Nigeria Chambers here from Big Gold Belt Media. What a beautiful day it is today here as we are getting ready to celebrate 70 years of Disneyland. I'm with a face a lot of you all may know, a smile you can't forget, and she brings the best to the parks each and every year. Chef Shirley, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. How you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm so good, I'm so good. So as I mentioned, 70 years, but before we get there, I do know you also have put in 20 years yourself.
I have,
and as a chef, obviously you have brought so much to the parks. But I want to know, for you getting to this milestone, talk about just as the fan, what does it mean to get to this point?
Gosh, it's really exciting to see the reaction that people get, you know, from eating your food, and it really does impact you, and it helps you want to create more of those memories for not only yourself but for the guests.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not come to the park and want to chow down on so many amazing things? But because it's the big 70, that clearly means we got some special things to talk about, right?
Absolutely. So as you can see, this amazing spread, this is actually just a few of over 70 items, over 70 culinary creations, if you will, for the 70th anniversary. I mean, we are celebrating 7 decades of happiness here at the Disneyland Resort. And what better way to do it than with the food, right? Happy food, happy people.
and that is important because, you know, with the food, and obviously everybody needs to nourish themselves and coming and spending times at the park. But for you, just talk about like what is the connection between the food and the guests? Why is it important to establish that connection for them?
The nostalgia. I mean, you have people that walked in through these gates, you know, on day one. And so bringing some of these back will bring back some of those memories. And that's what we're all about, right? Creating memories for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones that you can cherish and pass on to future generations, right? So speaking of memories, let's get to some of these memories. So opening day, there was a restaurant here called Casa de Fritos, right? And so this dish right here, the walking taco, is actually a modern twist on 2 items from that menu. So you have a fried tamale on the bottom, Walt's favorite chili on top. Of course, you got the corn chips. You have sour cream, onions, cilantro, cheese. I mean, you can't go wrong. And in fact, chili is a big nostalgic item because Walt loved chili. So over the years, the chefs definitely redefined, reimagined their recipes to create some of the favorites that we are enjoying today. So just like our chili cheese potato and our chili cheese corn dog over here, some new modern twists to some of the classics from back in the day.
And I'm guessing, you know, besides doing the amazing work that you all have done over the years, when you talk about storyboarding and bringing that legacy to life, how do you sort of nail and lock down the specific ones that you want to get to the finish line?
Well, we know chili is a big one, so definitely adding the chili. But we look at what was being served back then, and then we looked at what was popular back then, right? And what is popular now, because obviously the people have changed, the palates have changed. Food and ingredients has changed as well. So we try to get some of those fun favorites from back in the day and put a fun twist on them to, you know, make them a little bit modern. Like take our cowboy fries, for example, right? Burgers were very popular in Frontierland in the 80s and the 90s. So you basically have the hamburger on top of fries without the bun, right? So you have the burger patty, the pickles, the onions, the cheese, the special sauce. I mean, you can't go wrong. And of course, what's a celebration without some sweet treats, right? So we're bringing our classic Mickey waffles with a celebratory twist, strawberry whipped cream. We have the sprinkles and I guess the churros. Like who doesn't love churros? And these are just some of the items. Again, there's so many, but the foodie guide that we have will help you knock every item off of that
list. We jokingly said before we got started that, you know, it's impossible for somebody to come here and get 70, but is it? Is it impossible for somebody to come here and want to get all 70 of them? I think it's a challenge you all should take up. Now, really what I want to ask you too is, because there is so many different items, and we could speak a little bit about your team and the collaboration efforts in terms of the different representation between these items, because some of them just see it as food, but we know it's much deeper than that, and the roots of where they come from. So talk about making sure that establishing that collaboration, the authenticity that is required to bring with it.
Absolutely. Well, again, we we want to bring a little bit of everybody, right? Everybody wants to play when it comes to a celebration, but there's so many different things. Of course, you don't want to have 1,000 different offerings, although we possibly could. But we narrow it down. Who's going to play? Who's going to participate? What do our guests really like to eat? And we get some of those popular items like the churros and the corn dogs. And we just bring that modern twist to it, of course, with the nod to Walt, adding the chili. So bringing a little bit of what we like, a little bit of what Walt liked, and a little bit of the nostalgia from back in the day.
Yeah, and let me just say as a fan here, I love that the essence of Walt is so alive.
Absolutely.
Every aspect of the experience and being here, even to the nitty gritty of the food that you consume. Is that always the top of the priorities when it comes down to anything and everything that people do here?
Absolutely. He was the visionary. And if it wasn't for him, none of us would be here right now, right? So we always want to add that nod, of course, adding what he liked to some of what everybody likes. And I think that really sends a message that we still care about what was going on back in the day. We still value what people ate and what they liked. And we're just adding that modern twist to it to bring it to everybody and what they like and their palates, right?
Well, listen, as we have reached the 70-year anniversary, we got to think beyond. So where do you see food and beverage journey going from beyond this point?
Oh, to infinity and beyond. Really, there is no end when it comes to food. As long as there's imagination in the world, Walt said it best.
I knew I could count on you with that one,
right?
there.
Everything, the possibilities are endless. So speaking of endless, I actually have something for you to try, right? Bringing it back to a nod from Casa de Fritos, we have a mocha cream puff filled with a beautiful mocha cream, whipped cream, and of course, chocolate-covered corn chips and the sprinkles on top. It is a little on the messier side, so be forewarned. But again,
I'm here for it.
Bringing that nostalgia from back in the day and adding our everyday twist to it to modernize it.
Oh, well, I'm going to enjoy this one for sure. Well, listen, I appreciate the time and the space today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for everything you've done, even not only just today, but for all of you've done for your 20 long years here. I hope to see you for 20 long more. But folks, get to the park. 70th anniversary. It's going to be a good time and a ton to eat. Check it out.
I get